Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video. And today we are taking a look at the Deluxe series Marvel Legends Thanos. Here we have Thanos displayed in the front window with his various accessories including an extra head and some alternate hands, and then down near the bottom we see the Infinity Gauntlet logo and his name. Across the top we do have an illustration of the Infinity Gems, and being the comic book version, this is the Infinity Gems, not the stones. On the side, we do have some artwork there of Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet on display, and I really like this artwork actually, it's really well done. Then on the back, we get some more amazing artwork there of Thanos sitting in his throne with death by his side, and then we do have a quick bio. The Mad Titan Thanos seizes control of the hallowed Infinity Gauntlet and wields near omnipotent power. Who can stop this vicious new overlord? But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at Thanos. And here is Thanos outside of his packaging, and the Walmart exclusive Thanos that we got some time ago was a step in the right direction, but this here is definitely the classic version of Thanos that we all wanted, and Hasbro did a killer job with it. Looking at the paint and sculpt detail before I got it up here on the turntable, and yeah, they did an awesome job. The articulation is kind of meh, as it usually is with some of these bigger figures, but the overall design and everything like that really stands out. And I'm really happy that Hasbro gave it to us in a deluxe format versus a Build-A-Figure format. Just number one, it helps keep the cost down, but it also helps make it more attainable for people. So if you just want this classic version of Thanos, you don't have to go spend $120 to $140 on a full wave. Instead, this guy right now retails for about $30. So that much is really cool that they did that, because if they made this a Build-A-Figure wave, I mean, that wave would probably be pretty hard to find because people would want to have this figure. And they did include a few accessories here with Thanos, and they are all going to be for his left hand. Starting first, outside of the packaging, he's going to come with this fisted hand, which does not have any paint to represent the Infinity Gems. Followed by this open gesture hand, and we do get paint on this one to represent the Infinity Gems. That looks pretty good. It lined up well. No real complaints there about the paint, and I really like the sculpt and design there on that open gesture. And then finally we do get probably, I think, the best accessory that you could have gotten for Thanos. We get the snapping hand, and I think that looks awesome. We get the Infinity Gems painted on there again, and that is just really well done. Looks awesome, right about to snap his fingers, just like in the comic book. That, I think, is probably going to be how I display Thanos. I also like the backdrop that they put inside the box behind the packaging, where it's Thanos' throne, so that is really cool if you wanted to do some photography or something like that with it. Now, in standing straight up, Thanos is coming in at about 7.5 inches tall, which makes him about 19 centimeters, so he is definitely a big boy. But since we already looked at the two accessories, let's go ahead and get a closer look at the alternate King Thanos head and the rest of the paint and sculpt on this classic version of Thanos. And getting up close first here with the King Thanos head sculpt, which this is from the storyline where Thanos has basically defeated everyone in the universe. He has Cosmic Ghost Rider acting as his own personal herald. He has Hulk as a slave. He even brings his past self into the future to help fight the Fallen One, which is Silver Surfer wielding Mjolnir, which is the figure that we just got. So I think it is cool that Hasbro gave us this head sculpt with this, so that way we can actually flesh out some displays using all those characters together. Now, real quick, if you want to see what this head sculpt looks like on the Walmart body, here you go. I think it's a pretty good match. The gold looks good, and it gets you the ability to have both figures on display with different purpose. But personally, I actually do like it on the 2015 Build-A-Figure Thanos with the dark blue. That matches the character of King Thanos more. The gold is just a little bit too gold. It doesn't match, but I still think it actually looks good, and that's my preferred version. But jumping back into the head sculpt, really well done. You get that just that Thanos smirk there, very subtle. He has the long beard, and then just looks like an old man under there. A lot more wrinkles than even what he usually has, and the crown looks pretty cool, and it is going to be a flexible material, so you don't have to worry too much about breaking them if you put a little bit of stress on them. Same thing with the beard, it is going to be flexible, but otherwise I think that is a decent looking head sculpt. And switching over now to the classic head sculpt, and I'm really pleased with the expression that Hasbro went with here. It's very fitting for Thanos to have this big smile on his face and just overly happy with himself. And the paint looks like it came out really well. No real complaints there. You get some dark shading around the eyes, and it looks like the eyes are aligned properly. Paint on the teeth came out pretty good. We get a little darker shade of purple for inside the mouth and the gums there. And the gold looks like it came out where it needs to be. So I am pleased with that. And actually, if you look here, hopefully the light isn't, there you go, you can see it now. We actually get some light blue shading there that is done. And you can see it's like the little dot matrix style printing. But that looks really good, and it adds that little added effect there to the back of the head. So I think that is really cool to see some attention like that on the back of the head. But otherwise, really pleased with this expression. An angry expression would have been cool just in case you pose him where he's being defeated. But this expression will work for Thanos in a lot of scenarios for posing. Now looking at the rest of the figure, so the shoulder piece here, unlike the Walmart exclusive, is not removable, but you can see it is molded to the musculature of Thanos here, and it looks really good. I mean, it's pretty simple. There's not a whole lot to it, but I do like the color gold that they use, and you don't get any kind of marbling. Well, okay, I said that, but then I can see a little bit, but it's not totally noticeable. That's probably the most noticeable spot right there, but it's still not that bad. So there is a little bit of marbling going on, but yeah, it's still not that bad. Looking at the sculpt on the torso, we can see we get some more of that light shading there on the upper portion. The gold lines came out looking fine. And do we have any of that shading on the back? We do not. But transitioning over to the arms, we can see that we get that blue shading again on the arms, the light blue shading that is. On the biceps, we get it. Yeah, I really like that. That light blue shading really, really helps out, bring out the details of the sculpt, and really just gives it a very good look, to be honest. Looking at the hands, so we get the standard fisted hand here for the right hand. We don't get any swappable parts, and that came out looking good. And then I do have the regular fisted hand back on here, and still looks good. The waist portion here came out fine. It is a flexible piece, so it can move around if it needs to. And do we get a little bit of texture on that? Oh, let's get the camera. Not really. I thought we had like a texture on there, but that might just be the paint. Underneath, we can see we just got the gold there. We do see some more of that blue paint continuing on with the shading on his legs, and not on the back side though. And then we get these big old boots, and I really like how these are sculpted as well. You just see the wrinkles in the fabric, similar to how we see the wrinkles in the fabric here on the gloves. And I think that looks really good. I mean, overall, just a really good-looking figure, and the attention to detail with the extra paint really helped make this figure stand out. Now, looking at the articulation, you got a head that can rotate all the way around. However, he can't really look down very far, and he can look up kind of far, so not too bad. His arms are going to come out not quite to a full 90. You do get rotation. You'd have to kind of angle it out, though, because, like I said, this is not removable and it doesn't have much give, so you're going to have to move around it. You do have a bicep swivel and then a single-jointed elbow, but we do have rotation at the elbow as well, so that's not too bad there for most poses. However, you don't get much of an angle there at all with the elbow. We get like that little claw sticking out there from it, so that is a bit disappointing. You do have rotation and a hinge on all the wrists. Ab crunch can come down. Let's try that again. Yeah, not very much at all. You can go back a little bit further though. You do have waist rotation there. Legs can only come apart, yep, right about there. Kick forward, not bad, not much though, not really any at all there backwards. You do have a thigh cut, you have double jointed knees, and then I thought we had a boot cut, but we do not have a boot cut, but you do have a hinge, but this one I had to heat up, and it looks like I'm going to have to heat it up again. We do have, though, hinges and ankle pivot. And that is going to do it for this video, everyone. And even though I have some complaints regarding the articulation, I mean, limited articulation is kind of common for some of these bigger figures, so that's not too surprising. And really, the paint and the sculpt on this guy is just too good to not get him and replace that Walmart exclusive Thanos with this one. So I think if you are a fan of the comic books, this is the definitive Thanos to have. So I mean, pick it up. You got to get it, especially if you have a cosmic set. So that's really it for the review. I mean, you're going to get it anyway if you want them, so I don't even know why you're watching this video. Just go buy them. Anyway, thanks for watching the video all the same. If you like it, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe for more content just like this. And as always, thanks for watching my videos, and have a great day.